Okay. All right. I got something to say. I got something to say about this coronavirus shit. Um, I just tried to go to my local Burger King and it was closed at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. And normally it's closed at 11, right? Now, they already took precautions and closed down the interior of the store and did drive through only, right? But now they're closing at 8 o'clock. You can't even get a fucking cheeseburger. This is crazy, man. And my Walmart, which used to be 24 hours, is now closed at 11. It used to be like 3. They changed it to 3 o'clock. I don't know for some other reason, but yeah. So this is getting out of hand in the wrong way, and I mean we may as well send out the National Guard and just quarantine everybody to their own homes and test everybody individually, go door knocking on everyone's homes one by one, um, have install martial law and have a curfew and barricade off the streets, and what the fuck. What the actual fuck. Now I haven't done a whole bunch of research, and I'm quite sure not a lot of other people have either, and that's where paranoia comes from, a lack of understanding and facts, and people take data as facts, and it's not. You have to really do your homework. I mean, like, the media loves this shit. Hey, Mystical. What's up, sweetheart? The media loves this shit, right? Because, they don't care about the public, obviously, they just want to make their money, They're like, oh, hell yeah, jump on this, And instead of informing people and look at that. Look, do you see that? Coronavirus. Okay. Um, Instead of informing people properly and doing the research, they're just throwing all this out there, and it's like, man, the flu kills more people than the coronavirus ever has. I mean, wars, people are shooting each other, all day, but they don't focus that, on that, Now it's like, let's jump on this next thing, And honestly, I think fucking China owes the world restitution. I think they owe the world monetary restitution, because now it's affecting people's jobs. It's affecting their life. I don't even have to have the coronavirus to have it fuck with me, or anybody else, And I think China should pay out the rest of the world $2 trillion for all this shit, because of the responsibility that they had with those wet markets in Hunan. Okay, now I mean the wet markets, for those that don't know, are it was like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Don't quote me. When China was in serious poverty and 9 million people died from starvation. They opened up these wet markets to boost the economy and for personal, monetary gain and all that, to sell, individually, as opposed to being, all together like as a communist system. If I'm getting this right, but anyway, these wet markets are like literally have cages stacked with different animals on top of each other. There's no health codes. There's no nothing. They're dripping with fucking, pardon my, pus and blood and, organic matter. It's like a chicken on top of a pig. Just put a bat and a pig together and see what happens. I mean, this happened. This is why SARS and everything, all these other viruses came about. Now, if fucking America released the coronavirus to the rest of the world, it would be a shitstorm. If America released it, oh, Trump would have to answer, and then the White House would have to answer for all this. Oh, because we're responsible. But China's like, okay, fuck it, because that's just what China does, and they're irresponsible, and they don't give a fuck about the rest of the world except for themselves. Pretty much. It's like, go China, yeah, fuck you, man. And I'm just tired of it, and this will all pass, And yeah, everyone's trying to link this with the FEMA camps and all that shit. Like that, they tried to make that happen before, like we're all gonna get, rounded up, and you can't escape anywhere. They're gonna hunt us down with drones and infrared technology. You have to have technology to fight them back. You can't even go live in the woods. And they're gonna take us on fucking boats and shit. This is fucking bullshit. And the U.S. military would never fucking let that happen. If we were all like a full war in another country, we would be recalled so fucking fast to defend our country. All the generals have their eyes and ears everywhere. Everyone, it wouldn't happen. There's more people running this country than just fucking Donald Trump. And that was a good one. It's total fucking madness. And don't you guys worry. Even if you get sick, you gotta protect yourself. But it's the elderly that have to really, watch out, and people with respiratory illnesses like asthma and COPD that are going to be really affected by this. But I mean, it's the same story with the flu. Like how long has that not been a public issue anyway with the flu? It's just another thing. So yeah, it's just getting out of hand now. Like I can't even go anywhere and fucking just get food, or everything's shut down. I'm not working. I don't have a fucking job. People are getting dismissed because of sniffles and colds, and nothing's even there's no way to check people out. Even if I went to the hospital and got cleared, which I did, my job still won't let me work there. Now I'm getting over bronchitis. And if I had the coronavirus, I wouldn't have had it for a whole month. It would have been gone. It's a virus. It runs its course. Your body deals with it. I don't even have to get into that. But it's fucking nuts, man. Yeah, I'm just like pissed off at this point. I'm actually totally fucking pissed, buggered. Yeah. It's fucking nuts, man. I just wanted to say that. I had to get that off my chest there. As I light up another cigarette. But, yeah. It's madness. I feel so bad for Europe, and they're getting closed down, and Ireland's all fucked up, Italy's fucked up. People can't even go and get a drink, go to the local pub, and it's fucking nuts. Boy. And people's attitudes have changed too. They're driving. People are driving more frantically and impatient, and like people are. I avoided 3 accidents in the last week. People cut people off, and they're being short, and a lot of people are like, taking it lightly also too, and kind of just making fun of it. Like I was in Wawa the other day, and the music was playing that song from Back to the Future, Back in Time by Huey Lewis, I think it was, and I was like, oh man, that just fucking it just tripped me back to fucking Back to the Future. And he's like, the guy was like, yeah, I just saw this guy get out of a car with an orange hazmat suit, and I was like, I was like, was he driving a DeLorean? uh, but yeah, right. I can only imagine what Howie Mandel is going through right now. Holy shit! Like, poor Howie Mandel. Holy fuck! He probably like rented a fucking spaceship just to go in like low Earth orbit, and like I want nothing to do with all this. But yeah, it's fucking nuts. I don't know. Wow. But like I'm getting like um we're getting like YouTube has a warning that people aren't working as much and they might like get rid of videos despite the YouTube guidelines because of coronavirus. I got my paycheck late because of the coronavirus. And that screwed me all up. I had this 3 catch-22 fucking nightmare. I couldn't go anywhere. I was like stuck and stranded fucking with no gas because I had to use gas to get to a place, right? To get the money to get me back home, and then I couldn't get the money while I was there. So it's Straw Hat, what is up, my freaking dude? Right? So it's like, yeah, it's the protocol's all different, everything's like, So I'm just chilling out in my car right now. I'm like literally quarantining myself. Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. Like I literally almost want to just get infected with the virus and film the whole thing to show people that it's okay. But, I'm 41 and I'm healthy. I'm like really fit. So that might, I mean, you can't test all variables, but I'm really fucking actually was thinking about doing it and filming the whole thing, going in the hospital and filming the whole thing and like, look, Oh, really? Were you? Damn. And were you infected? You weren't even infected, right? I mean, that's the whole point of the quarantine is so that preventative measures so people don't get infected. So I understand that. And it's not bad to be overly cautious, but right on. God bless. Yeah. But see, people aren't prepared for all this stuff, and America was seriously and still is seriously underprepared. And it just goes to show what kind of country um, Donald Trump is running. Motherfucker. And yeah, so like what if it was worse, you know? Where's here? May I ask? You don't have to say that because it's personal. I don't want to disclaim any information. But yeah, like what if it was worse? What if it was a zombie apocalypse? Shit would break down so fast it wouldn't even. People are already stabbing each other with fucking wine bottles in Sam's Club over toilet paper. That's nuts, man. Over toilet paper. And that's what really makes me sad is that instead of banding together, people are fighting each other. And I'm out for myself. I'm going to get what's mine for my family and fuck everybody else. Like, that's nuts. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I haven't read up on Canada at all. I don't even know it's. And they have free healthcare, right? Don't they? Like I went into the hospital, they didn't even test me for it. Thank God I know my shit, and I know I don't have it, you know. But they didn't even test me. She was like, why do you think you have corona? Have you been exposed? Have you come in close contact with someone that has the coronavirus? I was like, no, but that's how that happens. You know, I don't know. You fucking tell me. Am I supposed to know as a civvy that I have corona? You're the fucking hospital. You should tell me, right? Am I losing my shit, or is that not totally fucking on point? Wow. Right. They didn't even do the, you know, the forehead temperature thing, and the mouth swab, and the nose swab thing. They didn't do a culture test. Nothing. Yeah. Hmm. That's I think it's the main problem is that it spreads more. I'm just think that it spreads more than the flu. Because, well, we don't even know the properties of it yet, and the long-term properties or the short-term properties, what it does, the what kind of fomite it is, meaning how long it lasts on surfaces, what the R naught is, that all ties into R naught, and how much it, which is the reproductive rate, and how it spreads to other people, how fast. Like AIDS is an R naught of 1. Um, a cold is like 4/5, I think, which I don't remember exactly, and flu is like 5 or something like that. Like you can get it like it's almost airborne. Like if you cough on someone's face with a mist, it it goes into your tissue, and most viruses have like these little spiky receptors that actually have to be massaged into your cells. Like if you touch your lip and rub your lip with a flu virus on it, it's going to enter your cell. But if it hits your lip and say you wipe it off with like alcohol or a cloth or something, there's a chance that you probably won't get it. Oh God, I wish I had my PS4 now, man. I'm trying to move into a new place right now. Everything's been so tight. I'm in like total survival mode right now. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck to just streaming on um my my Android. So yeah, but it's the best I can do. I've been fighting just to make like good streams for you guys, and um like go through all the sound equalizers and all this research and stuff just to make it so it's not sharp, and uh testing it. And my God, I'm becoming like an expert at factory resetting my phone because of all the stuff I'm been downloading, and with the ads and the bugs and the hidden, stuff like that. Yeah. No, I'll be alright. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's freaking nuts. So, hmm. Yeah, here we are. It'll pass though. Like that whole SARS scare and everything. Hmm. Pour Corona beer. No one's buying Corona. We're not buying Coronas. We're going Modelo. It's kind of like Corona, but better. Oh boy, like if you call it anything, like people are just relate and tie that word to like anything. Most people don't even know what like Corona means. It's like the outer edge of the of a star's atmosphere in between the point where the light radiates from the outer ring. If that's like so non-scientific, but yeah, and obviously you can see it with that shot I have there, and I remembered that before I fucking looked it up. See, it's a shame that not many people think for themselves anymore and have to be Google brains and look at it. It's okay. I don't have to think of anything. I can just look it up. It's like, remember when you had to like memorize numbers back in the day? Like, I still remember my best friend's phone number when I was a kid. Yes, I did. My dad got me into astronomy when I was like 5 years old. I had a telescope in the house, and he got me a book called Our Universe. And he taught me to read when I was like 4 or 5. I remember I was just trying to find that book. It was like this book that had like, you flipped it open and it had a picture of like the interior of a house, and it had all the rooms. It said kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, and inside the kitchen it had like butter, milk, refrigerator, and it was like really well done. And I remember that, and I remember saying the words, and my first word was all, A-L-L, and something about like I kind of cheated but didn't, because I connected it because of the dish laundry detergent all. And then that's when I heard it, and that's when I saw it, and that's when I connected it, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, and I started reading cereal boxes, and yeah, my dad taught me how to play chess, and he taught me astronomy, and he was a scientist, a chemist for 25 years at Mobil Oil. Yeah, basically fucking, well, I can't even say that. I'm not gonna say anything there. That's a little too yeah, I can't say that. It's classified. Literally. But yeah. I remember him taking me to the lab, and we froze a bouncy ball with liquid nitrogen. And I remember the smell of the lab and the oils and stuff, and he would go there. He would take me on the weekends and check up on his work, because he was like distillating oil and stuff. He took like this like 200,000 mile old truck oil and turned it brand new by distillating it with what's it called? Not zeolites, but catalysts that broke it down and distillated it through heat and like chemically. Like if you like I kind of understand it, but like the way I can best describe it, distillation, is if you took like a cone and dumped like 1,000 different sized ball bearings, and they all filtered down to the bottom, and the smallest ones, like carbon bonds, would like be at the bottom. That's how he did. Yeah, I'm lucky. I question if I'm one of them. Thank you. Yeah, and my mom's like the musical side of the family, and my dad's like the science, and yeah, but both of my sides of my family are funny. they're all fucking comedians and characters, and I'm half Italian, quarter Irish, quarter French, and 0.8% Spanish, which I did research to find out that my mom's side of the family was, well, they're 1.6% Spanish, and my grandfather didn't even know that, and he lived to be 90 years old, and I confirmed that, and they're like, wow, yeah. There's like a fort in Spain named after my family, and yeah. So my mom's like 100% Sicilian, and my dad's Italian and Irish. No, I can't speak French. I but I think it's freaking beautiful. And if I had another language to learn besides Spanish, it would be French. I was really getting there with Spanish. It took 3.5 years in high school, and then I did Spanish 3 again, and then I worked at a lot of jobs that where everyone spoke Spanish, and my mom speaks Spanish. And I think she even taught in college as a substitute teacher. And but yeah, I was like almost fluent, like I was really getting there. Oh no way. That's cool. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so confusing though if you look at like the words, yeah. I don't know. Au revoir, and there's from the wind rises. Le vent se lève, il faut tenter de vivre. I don't know. The wind rises, we must live. That's all. It's like all I know. I don't know. Teach me something. Give me something to say, and I'll see if I can say it. You know? Enchanté. Enchant. It means enchanted, right? Yeah, I like to pretend I know, but I don't. I do think it's really pretty though. It's confusing. Like German is like straight like you have the Romance languages, and you have German, which like came from you know Latin, and then that I think all that stemmed from what Proto-Indo-European, like just, and then that went to the Baltics, and then it spread out there. But that's like even English is like a Germanic language, the Latin roots. If you know your Latin roots, you can understand. Yeah, le vent se lève, the wind, like Levon, like of the wind. It's like a name. Yeah, German. German sounds violent. It's like bad. It does. And I always feel bad for Germany because it's like, unfortunately, what most people think of when you hear Germany is you think Nazis. You think Nazis in World War II, and I guess it's still kind of fresh because they really fucking tried, man. They really fucking tried to take over the whole world. And that's crazy, That's absolutely crazy. And that goes against everything that are in people's hearts and that America believes in freedom, of course, But also a lot of people, many people don't remember or know that. Let me ask, who was the first country that Nazi Germany invaded? No Google. Which country was which was the very first country that Nazi occupied Germany invaded? Don't look it up. If you don't know, just no. Yeah, that's what most people think. It was the Blitzkrieg. Nope, it was Germany. It was Germany, and they drafted regular old good-hearted German people, just like we were drafted, but well, for very different reasons. I mean, they were the attackers, and we were trying to defend democracy and freedom, obviously. So, but yeah, no, it was fucking Germany invaded their own country first, and basically made it. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and no one hates Germany more than Poland and America. The Polish were the first people to start shooting down paratroopers. No one did that before, and medics. No one freaking did that, dude. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. You could do this for, you know. And Poland and the Dutch were, of course, our allies, and yeah, the Dutch were freaking awesome too, man. They, they were helping people out on the side as much as they could, and even Italy, they didn't half of the fucking country. They wanted no part of that shit, you know. Like Mussolini's fucking crazy. Like what? We just have to get pulled into this? Like okay, yeah, a lot of people got drafted just like we did, and it's nuts. All young cats too, 18, 19 years old, barely even experienced life or anything, just get thrown into it, And a lot of people jumped in there at 16 years old and, forged their documentations just to get in there. Like, fuck, we were going, And literally overnight, the women took over all the men's jobs. Like, literally overnight, which gave way to a huge, women's rights movements. Like, damn. Oh, now, it's before the 50s where, obviously women are still like, oh, I'm the man, and like, oh, I hate that. And, oh, women could do what men can do equally, if not better, which they did. Oh, yeah, they took over doing everything, man. Everything. Who was left in the country? Yeah, because they didn't send many women to war back then, except for being nurses, and so it was, yeah, huge fucking turnover, and the way we view the world and human rights, yeah. Let me see if I can. Le soleil se lève, levé devant Belly. Don't tell me. Soleil. The sun's winds. Soleil is the sun, I think. The sun's winds, they look very beautiful? Did I freaking get that right? The solar winds look beautiful. The solar winds, they look very beautiful. I don't know. The sun raises, life becomes beautiful. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Want to hear a cool dream I had? Oh, all right. I'll tell you one. I like, because I love stories and everything, but this is just. I'll tell you a few of my dreams that I actually had, in like one of my favorite dreams. One of them was that I was an astronaut and I was going to the moon, and I was on the bridge going to the shuttle, and I had the whole suit on and everything, and I remember, like, it was so vivid and detailed. Like, I remember the clicking of the locks where they turned the air locks on my suit, on my gloves to my suit, and put the helmet on, and the glow, everything, like, and I remember going in the shuttle, and they give me a thumbs up and sealing the door, and I had to climb straight up, and sit in a seat, like, backwards, like upside down, like facing upward, and the way I fell asleep was up against the wall, sitting up. So, like, I think that's what, like, gave rise to my dream because I was sitting up, right? And so we go to the moon and everything, right? Excuse me. And we get to the moon, and there's these little orange Fraggle Rock little alien creatures coming up from the moon craters, like out of these moon craters, like. And that was it. Like, that's all I remember. But the whole like space shuttle thing was freaking so vivid, and I never even I didn't even really, well, I study astronomy, but I never even saw images of that. Like, I created that from my own mind, you know. Oh yeah. Oh, another space dream. I Oh, this one was beautiful. This one was beautiful. I traveled to the far side of the moon, to a secret base where they launched me retrograde, like going backwards, like from the rotation of the sun, to a secret planet on the other side of a secret man-made planet, or some kind of alien planet on the other side of the sun, right? And it took 4.5 months. And I looked it up and I was like, that's actually fucking like close math. I was like, what? So like I go to this planet, and it's like a very watery type planet. There was land and everything, but it was like everything was like water, like. And we were in this body of water, like a lake, or this huge lake, and there were all these pretty little like wooden bridges, and like a water pond with all these beautiful like alien flowers and stuff. And there was this tower out in the middle of the water with a ladder that you could climb, and people were climbing up to the top of it and hang gliding off the top, and then jumping back in the water and climbing back up again. And that was like the end of that dream. Fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool. Yeah, lucid dreaming. I had a couple of those. Like, oh, I'm dreaming. And I'd be like, inside my dream, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to look to the right. I'm going to look to the left. Look up at the sky. Oh, the one dream, it was like I was visiting my sister's apartment, and it was a really pretty like blue sky with these like bright clouds, and there was this like there were these trees with no leaves on them, and then this like little cliff, and this like man-made dam, like a white concrete dam in the background, which I think was from my childhood. We used to go to this place. My dad would take me out and go to this place called the White Concrete. And it was just like, drop the fan. And no Google. Yeah, and that was like just a cool little, place. Like my dad, man, I had a magical childhood, man. I really had a magical childhood. Even though my dad was an alcoholic and he was fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like, I went through that shit, like, arguing for like 9.5 years every night. It was just crazy. But, yeah, my dad used to go through walks in the woods, and I remember walking through the woods in the snow with, just so quiet, like, you could hear, like, that hissing of the snow hitting the ground and that crunch of the snow in your feet, and walking to the 7-Eleven with like, and one time we were walking at the White Concrete place, and it was like this little reservoir that would, to prevent water from like building up, and we were walking on a hill, and I fell off to the side apparently, and I do remember it, and like I fell, and I was like completely engulfed in snow, like, and my dad had to bury me out of there. I was like 4 feet underneath the snow. Just whoop. And another true story, when I was 3 I almost drowned, and my sister saved me. We were at my uncle's house, and there was a barbecue, and everyone was somewhere else eating or in and out of the house and playing like lawn darts, I think, or something. And I had this little red fire fireman hat, and I went to the deep end near the diving board, and I reached in to fill it up with water, and the suction and the weight of the water pulled me in, and I did a front flip into the water. I remember that. And I sunk all the way down to the deep end. No, I didn't. Not yet. And I sunk. I'm really trying, man. I've been really stressed. But I sunk all the way down to the deep end. And I must have been in there for almost a minute. And I remember my sister, like as soon as I hit the water, they said she jumped in after me, but I was there maybe for a good 30 seconds, 40 seconds. And I remember seeing her dive through the water, and because no one else saw me. If it wasn't for my sister, I'd be dead. I wouldn't be talking to you. And I remember putting her arm around me and dragging me up to the surface. I remember like, it's okay. What, what's all the panic, And yeah, and I remember that. And then when I watched oh god. Spirited Away, and she lost her little red shoe in the river, and then said, I remember your real name is Haku River. And like they did that beautiful flying scene, and I was crying so bad because I could totally relate to that, because my red fire hat, and I almost drowned, and yeah, and he saved her, and yeah. my record for holding my breath is 3 minutes and 56 seconds. Almost 4 minutes, man. And there was a blind test I did with a stopwatch. I just took a couple prime breaths, and yeah. Thank you, man. That helps. I appreciate that. Do I believe in myself? That's the question. No, I'm a Taurus, man. Once I set my mind to it, I do it, Yeah, smoking is so stupid. Nicotine's a bitch. Really is. If you put nicotine in like ground it up and put it in dog shit, in a dog shit drink, people would still fucking drink it. Oh, this is disgusting, but I'm drinking it. For real. Like, that's how crazy it is. It's like being dehydrated, and you need a cup of water so bad. That's what it feels like. Yeah. That's just fun, man. I like sharing my thoughts with you guys. I think that's what it's all about. A lot of people don't talk or like share their dreams or like say how they really, really feel. I think because they're not afraid, but just like hesitant of judgment or what other people like, like fuck that. Just be yourself. Like, that's the most important thing in this world, is like being yourself. You can't help other people till you take care of yourself. But I mean, like, sometimes I think it's the other way around. I think if everyone took care of everyone else first, then we'd all be all right? Like, I'm just done feeling like that. Like, I started singing in public. I don't care. Like, I don't care anymore, man. I'm gonna die sometime, So why the fuck not? And like, I put smiles on people's faces by just singing. They're like, I was singing the Bee Gees in the gas station. This guy was like, just like, have a great day. And he looked at me, and we just fucking giggled together. And it was great. Why not? I started smoking when I was 15 because I tried those mellow yellow cigars, and I was blowing smoke rings, and I thought it was cool, I guess. And I don't know. I think my brain was curious, and that was it. Stupid, you know. I think I thought I was immune to everything. Oh, I can't, drugs aren't gonna affect me, or yeah, right. If I give a little more than you're asking for, your love will turn the key, darling. Bee Gees. I just wanna be your everything. Open up the heaven in your heart and let me be. Oh god, I forget the fucking lyrics I should be singing right now. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, it's dumb, man. I'd rather smoke pot any day than fucking cigarettes. Yeah, right. Pure curiosity. Like, why is everyone doing this? What's the thing with it? Right. Curiosity killed the mirror. Yep. It should be totally fucking illegal. You know, if you look at the you know the World Health Organization and CDC and the Surgeon General gives you a warning. Oh, this is bad. Then why the fuck are you selling it? You know. Then why the fuck you're supposed to protect us, right? You're supposed, make that shit illegal. Are you crazy? Oh, but then they, they loophole it with, oh, it's people's freedom, personal freedom. It's their own right. You can, but you can't harm yourself. Like, yeah, I could smoke and fuck my lungs up, but right. That's crazy, right? Yeah. But you harm yourself, you go to hospital, you go to crazy ward, But you smoke, you harm yourself, Oh, it's fine. I'll buy it. I'll pay to hurt myself. Right? Does that fucking make any sense? A Spider-Man? Oh, which one? No, I know they're getting really good. I played some old PS1s, and yeah, it was cool. Just the whole web slinging, like the whole freedom and open worldness to it. And just climbing around, like it was fucking cool, man. Like I remember the Atari, like Superman and Spider-Man, and it was just, but the PS1 was so good. PS2 too. I played a couple of them, and it was neat because it was like almost a little RPG where you can upgrade your moves, and you get more you can do all this different stuff with the web, and web slinging, and wrap guys up, and the little commentary like like you just strap a guy to a fucking street pole, and it was so badass. Yeah, it was really cool. I do love Spider-Man. I love me some Spider-Man. Really? What's it called? Nice. Dude, why don't you are you gonna stream, man? Why don't you start streaming? You're a fucking cool cat, dude. You're a smart guy. I think you'd be a great streamer. Yes, I do. Yeah, man. He's he's a host. He has his own radio show. He started out UFC under Michael what's his Michael White. I can't remember his name. And yeah, man, I dig him. He doesn't hold back, and he's honest. That's why I like him. Yeah, Joe Rogan, man. And he's pro pot, and yeah, he's a really cool guy. Oh, Mark. Okay, nice. Yeah, yeah. I gotta binge watch all the Avengers movies and the whole Marvel universe thing because I stopped at like Iron Man 3, and like I know they're actually true sequels, so I'm not gonna watch any of the new ones until I watch it from the beginning again. So ISD, what's that? Oh, LSD. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Um, well, from what I understand, basically people are a model of not only the planet but the universe. Lysergic acid diethylamide is from a certain fungus um, that grows on a type of wheat plant called Claviceps purpurea, and then they take and and what it does is it basically if I'm trying to remember, it interferes with the receptors of your brain visually, and like they try to piece itself in with your neuroreceptors, but they don't quite fit the right way, so that gives you like a kind of distorted effect, and it's not an eye thing, it's a brain thing. That's why you get the trip and you see like trails and all that, because it's like basically like a lag, like a bug in your brain. But the third eye, our 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 bodies absorb everything around. Everything is connected all at once. No matter how far the distance, I believe. And we have a ground, and we're electrical. We're electromagnetic. And there's a fountain of light that comes up from the ground, like from our feet. It goes through our body, through our chakras. It peels off from the top and wraps around back through us. And we have an aura too that it's this beautiful blue tint that surrounds your entire body, like the energy that's coming off not just heat but it's heat from electricity, and it kind of looks like little iron filings, it's a little static-y kind of. But yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, I did that exactly. Yeah, man. First things first, man. Work first, play second, I say. And but your third eye is like okay, so basically the way I think of it is that when we die, we black hole. Okay, like we all your energy goes into this tiny little pinhole that goes faster than the speed of light, like kind of piercing the sound barrier in this little point of light, and that's where your soul goes and breaks off and becomes back into a part of everything and leaves your body. And now your brain emits radio waves. Your brain emits signals not unlike radio waves. They're very close to radio waves. The spectrum of that, it's like a X-ray, gamma, ultraviolet, visible light, infrared, uh, and radio. I forgot one. Microwave, yeah, and blue and red. And blue is close together. Red is is more spread out. That's why we use radio waves, because it doesn't bunch up and it doesn't get, it has less interference. Like that's why the sky is blue, is because it's actually, the sky is red at night. Sun, we have red sunsets because it's de-blued, because the blue light is more banded together. The frequency, they're higher. The amplitude is more bunched together. Amplitude meaning the height of the crest and trough of a wave. It's more bunched together, so it hits, breaks through the clouds, break it up, everything. So like we can use radio waves to travel farther because they just pierce through everything. It's almost like closer to a straight line than it is, going up and down. Okay, so your brain emits radio waves in all directions, but actually there's a part of your brain which people relate or call the third eye that projects these little low energy micro X-ray jets. There's a single X-ray jet that goes from literally from the back of your head to from your whole brain through the center of your forehead in almost closest to a straight line through the center of your forehead. And that's why, like, you ever look at someone and they feel you looking at them, and they don't see you with their eyes, their back is turned, and they turn around. That's because your brainwave that little X-ray jet is hitting their brain, and they subconsciously detect that. It's fucking actual science, man. It's not like pseudoscience and meta science. That's real shit. It's been tested. Okay, so I believe when we die, it all pours through that little jet through that third eye. I don't think the third eye receives. I think it emits. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but yeah. I did, who does really, but like Gandhi and I don't know, but yeah, definitely have a third eye. And I think actually the third eye also means, in another sense, that was the physical explanation of it, the best I could do. I think the third eye also means a subconscious eye, like a all-seeing eye that we have that can feel around us, a non-physical eye, like a brain eye, or a soul eye, kind of like like the heart of your soul, and yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, looking at that shit, man, like we admit, like, basically we're like, our brain's like a radio, goes right through your skull, like, no problem. Yeah. Like, if the world was quiet with you took all the electrical radiation and the radios and the cell phones and took all that shit away, and I bet you could actually feel and sense a lot more, Oh, I believe in God. Oh, I believe in God. Whew. Tough question. um, just not in the way, I guess, most people think, or conservatively, you would say. Like I don't think God is an actual being. I think God is everything, and I think we think of him or her or it as a being because that's all we know. As we put a face to God because all we know are faces, you know what I mean? Like, try to think of another alien creature, like, try to think of another letter of the alphabet. Try to think of something your tongue does that you haven't said before, like, yeah, try to invent something that you can't think of. There you go. I mean, it's like, so I think, like, if you say, like, you remember that scene in Men in Black where, like, they went in, they went outside the universe, outside the solar system, outside the galaxy, and it was all wrapped up in these little marbles. Well, I kind of think that's actually my bubble theory is like everything's just inside a circle, and that's inside. Like if you took like say a water molecule, you can go down into the water molecule, and you go down into a hydrogen atom, and inside the cloud of that hydrogen atom, which we can't see, is a virtual particle, or a muon, or a gluon, or a quark. And inside that quark is another cloud that we can't detect that contains eventually another universe, that inside that universe is another solar system that has another Earth that has water on it, that has more water molecules in it. See? So there's like a curve to it, and then it just repeats. It's an endless set. It's an endless Mandelbrot set, Mandelbrot was a mathematician who, found repeating sets in math. Like if you say, like you took a tree and you went out to that branch, and that you went deeper down into that branch, had a twig, and then inside that twig you go inside the leaf, and inside the leaf you had a vein of leaf, and then inside that vein you started to see another tree that had another branch, that and so on. That's how I think of the universe. So we're all living inside a huge hydrogen atom, or maybe it's something else, or no one knows the true model. But I think every particle represents or contains within a model or a set of another particle or another model, and so on. You know what I mean? Well, this isn't astronomy anymore. We're in the quantum theory now, And quantum theory is the study of the properties of matter and energy at a subatomic level. And why that is because things back in the 40s and 50s, and even, earlier, people started discovering that things don't react and respond the same way they do with energy or particles smaller than an atom. Like everything just goes out the window, breaks down. It's so weird. It's like, what? Okay, there's like we're looking at a particle now. There's different types of particles that have, like a, oh boy, how to describe it without like totally fucking being confusing. Like spin particles, spin angular momentum, particles that spin around and look the same no matter which way they spin. They rotate. Hydrogen atom rotates, an electron rotates. You look at it, it's the same no matter how much it turns. Then there's other particles that spin one time and they look different, and they spin back again, and then they look the same again. That's a one spin 1-2 particle. There's a zero spin particle which just looks the same. That's like an electron, your basic shit. But as you get smaller, it's like things, because everything's trying to equal itself out. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the most basic particle in the entire universe is a hydrogen atom. That's it. Okay, most basic particle. It has 3 basic parts: a neutron, a nucleus, which is the center, a hydrogen atom, a proton, and an electron. Okay, the proton is positive, the electron is negative, the neutron is neutral. Okay, and the electron and proton are spinning around each other. Now, the electron is falling inward because it's negative, because it doesn't have any positive charge, no outward push, okay? The proton has outward push. It's trying to escape, but it keeps falling back in because the gravity of the nucleus is pulling it back into itself, okay? And now the electron is falling inward, but can't fall inward anymore because of the pressure of the electrical energy pushing it outward. So just like the sun is actually collapsing, but it can't collapse anymore inward on itself, so it pushes back out, and it does this for its whole lifespan. And that's called thermonuclear. It's thermodynamics. It's, oh god, I can't remember basic shit. Darn, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like the photons. There's this inner photon ring. It does this photon dance, or the photon walk. It's just the same process repeating over and over. It's trying to escape, but it keeps getting pulled back in and pushed out. So it's like, okay, you have a core of iron, right? And the sun has an iron core. Our sun has an iron core. Okay, basically every star in the entire known universe is converting hydrogen into helium. That's all it does. Right now, our sun is burning 600 million metric tons of hydrogen and converting it into 400 million metric tons roughly of helium, okay? It's a simple process, right? For our sized sun will never black hole. Now, for a sun to black hole, it has to be 4.3 times our sun's mass to black hole. It has to have enough energy to do that, all right? Then a sun that can black hole has a completely more complex system for converting hydrogen into helium. Totally different. All these, like, there's like 9 stages or something like that. It goes, and every stage gets faster and faster. Like the first stage is like trillions of years, and then it's like billions of years, and then it's like couple 100,000 years, and it's like, then the last stage is like less than a second. It's like boom, it just, I think it's like neon and carbon, and it breaks down. Okay, but like iron is the end all be all of chemical processes in the entire universe. Everything breaks down basically into iron. Like that's the last stage. Like you can't do anything more with iron. It's just, okay. So once the iron, like, oh god, I'm like trying to remember as I go. And I'm not Googling anything because you would see my screen. So oh god, no Google. And once the ghost shell of the sun collapses, it starts to fall in on itself. Finally, when the iron, everything's burned down into iron, there's no heat coming from the core anymore. Then it can't push out its shell, its outer layers anymore. So it just collapses on itself basically and turns into a white dwarf or a brown dwarf, depending on the heat and size and position and all that. So I think, yeah. But yeah, a star has to be pretty darn big to black hole. And basically what that is like a sun, like, is a single point that radiates in every direction. A black hole is just a negative star, if you want to think of it that way, right? It's just a reverse star, okay? It's like water going down a drain, basically. It's trying to go in one direction because it's falling in on itself. It has to go somewhere, right? It can't just keep on going inside itself anymore. It's got to go somewhere. So it starts spinning. Just like water down a drain. Like you take all that energy and try to stuff it through one place. It's not going to go straight. It's going to spin because of its own gravitation, right? And so that spin angular momentum converts into a single direction, which it's like a cone, okay, and like a disc, and that cone spins and creates a string that pierces through space. It goes faster than the speed of light, because if you have that, imagine that, all the pressure and all the energy of that whole system pushing tiny little particles smaller than an atom, you know, with all the weight of that system, it's going to go faster than the fucking speed of light. That's why we can't see it. That's why we call it a black hole, because it escapes our field of view and detection. Okay, so space is really not black. It's just filled by smaller and faster traveling particles from these black holes and from larger black holes and smaller. Everything eventually does that. The solar system's got a black hole. The galaxy's got a black hole eventually. You know, it's the same thing. Like, they're doing the same thing, just in different ways and more complex ways. You know, our universe is just really a complex star. It exploded and it's fallen back in on itself. Sound familiar? Just like a sun, you know? So it's settled, you know? The sun settled. It didn't blow up too much where it escaped itself, and it didn't shrink too much where it just crumbled down. It was just the right amount of energy where it's supporting itself and doing its thing, you know? And we're just the right space away from it. Not too hot, not too cold. We call it the Goldilocks zone, right? So, and we're just in the right space. There's polar ice caps on each end, and there's an equator where the heat's right in the middle. Everything's right in the middle. Water's right in the middle. Solid, liquid, gas. It's all of the above. It's the only, you know. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm getting at? Oh, I think everything is here for a purpose. Absolutely. Sorry I didn't answer your question there. The question is, what is that purpose? And yeah, we're not just living to keep on living, right? There's like, if the Earth is gonna die, we're gonna move on to another planet and do the same thing there. Why? I think evolution, and I think happiness is our main purpose, right? Happiness, joy, communication, love, legacy. I mean, happiness. You eat good food, it makes you feel good. It's good. That's a good thing, right? Sex, like, that's fucking awesome. I think if it's good and it doesn't hurt you, it's a good thing. It's a keeper, you know? It's like, oh yeah, you know, that's why drugs suck, because it's not, it's like not natural. It's just like forced. It's like, yeah, it makes you feel good, but it's gonna fuck you up. Reincarnation is? Oh yeah, I definitely do, but not in the sense that I don't think, like, I don't think you come back and retain your memory, so to speak, you know? I think there's, I think, Straw Hat, there's a infinite amount of yous out there right now, and we're having this conversation on another planet in another universe, and it could be anywhere. It could be inside your fingernail. It could be, you know, in a water particle, as I said before, you know? And like, it's like, because you think of the math, it's just infinite is infinite, and there's no boundary, you know? So that's why I think, also back to where we get the face of God, is we only have a face for it because that's all we know. So we in our hearts, like, picture God as like a being, you know, like arms, and, you know, we don't picture him as an alien, or, you know, and let's say him, you know, right? You know, it's so like, why is it not a woman? You know, why is it not? Why is it not her story? Why is it his story? History. But yeah, no, I definitely believe. I mean, I don't think it's like, oh, I die and then like instantly come back as like a squirrel. I think there's a process, obviously. I go into the earth, right? I die, my body goes into the earth, right? That's a fact. Like you get buried, like my physical body goes into the earth. What happens to the rest of it? I mean, I think it's all mechanic and organic. You know what I mean? Like, where do you separate the point from mechanic and organic? I'm trying to think of an example for that. Like, at which point does something become life and not just a system of fucking particles? Like, my body is not just water and carbon and hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, let's nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Everything breaks down into your body. Like everything you eat breaks down into hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. It's like the four, not food groups, but I mean, yeah. Our bodies, we're so much more than just the sum of our parts, right? Okay. Right. Well, then then I'm burned and my body is burned. I'm still dead. So it doesn't matter what happens to my body, you know what I mean? You can't burn your soul, eh, as everyone believes, you know. There's a poem I wrote about infinity and life and death, right? I wrote this, oh my god, I don't even know, like 2007 or 9 maybe. All right. Um our souls shed our transient trinities, but to be everything and nothing is the freedom of infinity. Love is the gravity that binds us eternal, and the life we become as the light at the other end of the tunnel. Take that. that there's a third eye in there. There's everything. The light we see at the end of the tunnel, we see that light because we're approaching the speed of light, because our soul is going through our third eye, through our bodies, faster than the speed of light, become everything, back to everything. And we shrink down, maybe we shrink down into a little atom, and then back into another universe inside that little atom, and then we're born and another little baby inside another little universe inside a little and there you're and there, and then you live that life and you go shrink down into that. Just like our galaxy is gonna, our universe is gonna collapse, black hole, and what happens to that? It's gonna go somewhere. It's gonna that black hole string, like string theory, it's gonna shoot off somewhere else. It's gonna leave a little explosion behind, and that's gonna create another little universe that's smaller than the last one because most of the energy goes traveling off somewhere else. But I believe our universe was created from an explosion of a black hole. Before the black hole, it was a star or a cluster of stars, like our universe is a cluster of galaxies, right? So take like, all right, there was a huge explosion, Big Bang, obviously, that happened. We think that happened, right? How did that happen? Maybe it was from two things colliding together that caused that explosion. But what were those two things? Maybe it was just itself that exploded, just like most stars and black holes do themselves. Okay? So I truly believe through all my research that a universe existed before us, right? shrunk down. It burned off all its positive energy, so it started collapsing on itself. Didn't have any more outward push, so it started falling in on itself. Then it started spinning. Now, if you look at the edge of a black hole, there's something called the accretion disk, which is, or the event horizon. That's the point at which infalling matter can't escape anymore, even light. So, as I was saying, like how matter goes, like kind of like a drain, like water going down a drain, it can't go in any faster. So what it does is sits there and spins. Now that part of a black hole is called a hot spot. It's like basically if you took a top and spun it, and if you put a top on an axis, like you just stuck like a toy spindle top, put it on like stuck it on, like put a hole through it and put it on a metal, like a pole, and then you took like when it was, pull strings with the zipper gears on it, and pulled it and spun that top, right? but now this is, keep in mind, this is like huge amount of energy. So like eventually that top wants to explode, wants to pop, and all the energy of that black hole falling in and spinning is going to pull it, and that's what's going to create it to spin, and it's going to whip it up and then boom, explode. It's going to pop right at the end. That all black holes leave something behind, and that's an explosion. And that's where I think our universe came from. A huge fucking black hole. A really, really, really big black hole. And it's going to do it again, And I think what happens to that energy when it escapes, either it forms another, system on the other side, you could say, or it just gets sucked up, or wrapped up or integrated with another system that's bigger and just, kind of congeals together and then forms another system and does its thing. Positive and negative, yin yang. It's a very, very simple system that keeps everything we see and do and everything we know in place, Yeah. I did not mean to get this heavy. I thought we were going to talk about the coronavirus. Now we're getting down in the nitty gritty, man. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I do work for NASA. Never know. No, I would tell you if I worked for NASA. Yeah, I would say it. No, I would tell you. But I don't want to ruin the mystery, and I'm not gonna. Yeah, you decide for yourself. Yeah, really, I'm fucking done with it. I was just a little pissed earlier because I couldn't get a cheeseburger. Like, fuck you, coronavirus. I want a cheeseburger. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I mean, I care about people and what they're going through, so, but yeah. Yeah, I know. Of course they do. This is what we do, man. Trying to figure shit out. People are just paranoid because they don't know what they're talking about. That's just the bottom line. That's it. It is okay. We will be okay. But yeah, man, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you think about all the shit I just said. That was a lot, and I know I'm the host, but I mean, I don't want to, go on talking forever. How's the sound? How do I sound? Can you hear everything? Am I too quiet or too loud? Whew, yawny. Yawny, yawny. Get some iced tea. And get some nice tea. Dude, what's it like in Canada, man? I really thought about moving there. Canada or Australia? Like from the most part, like what I hear is like Australia is like really freaking cool and laid back and beautiful, and I was really good friends with this Australian family, and they were fucking awesome, man. They were just like really fucking cool. Used to have these Australian Day parties and drink Foster's beer, and like it was just a fucking riot, man. I met them through my girlfriend, and yeah, they're so cool. We used to hang out, and they would we had dinner, and um the mom, she, I don't want to say names, but yeah, she's fucking awesome, man. She was a nurse and a vet, and she used to cook for us. Oh my god, it's so good. And she put my cat to sleep. My cat I had since I was 3 years old. My best cat, 19 years old. My cat CT is the black cat. Fucking most sweetheart cat in the whole world. Like you would, so awesome, man. Such a good cat, dude. My mom had fucking severe allergies. Loved that cat so much. We kept him. She dealt with allergies for fucking like 4 years. We love that cat so much. Oh, I can't read over top of those. How do I? Oh, okay, cool. Here we go. Well, first maybe I thought there's something that you made that made universe like God, but then I thought, well, what made God, and then here all these times sound great. Oh, yeah, that was my first thought too, right? Yeah, it was like, well, yeah, what made God though, right? Oh, dude, you just don't give up. The best advice I can give you is just keep asking why. It's like, why is that? Oh, well, that's because this does that because of this, and okay, yeah, but why does that do that? Keep asking why, and you'll always get to the heart of something. And I think why is so much more important than how. We're so wrapped up in how, and that's the science, and the why is like the religion of it all, and you could say, and yeah, it's like how, like I know how I'm alive, my heart is beating, and blah blah blah, but why am I alive? That's the most important question. Never stop asking why. It will fucking annoy some people, but why, Daddy, why? Oh god, yeah. Oh, it's all snow. We haven't seen any snow here. I'm in New Jersey, and there has been like no snow, which is like, what? Because when I lived in New York, upstate New York, it was like, oh my god, like it snowed one winter. It snowed every 3 days. It snowed the entire winter. It's like, holy crap. It's like, okay, I love snow, but no, my car is horrible in the snow. I throw my car like 13 degrees and it like starts skidding out in the snow. Like, for real. So bad. Yeah, man. Honestly, I just think everything created itself. It just creates itself over and over, and it doesn't go anywhere. It just transforms into something else. You know what I mean? It just turns into something else. That's it. Oh, wow. 5 feet. My God. How do you get to work? Sled dogs? I may be joking, but that might be true. I don't know. Probably, I would take a snowmobile to work. Fuck that shit. Whatever works, right? Like a really badass like 4-wheel drive. Wow, yeah. Canada's so beautiful. So big. It's just so big. Damn. Oh yeah, New Brunswick. There's a New Brunswick near me in New Jersey. I forgot there's New Brunswick up there. Oh yeah, so you get all that cold, yeah, that water air. Do you have you seen the Northern Lights? I've never seen the Aurora Borealis. Never, only on video and pictures. One night it was supposed to be up in New York, but it was cloudy. I was like, really? The one fucking night it was like it's very rare, but you guys can see it tonight. Oh, but it's got to be cloudy. Damn it! There was a meteor. There was a meteor too, a comet that couldn't see because it was cloudy too. I could see a little bit through the clouds, but it was like, oh, really? Yeah, right. I bet. Damn. I love fireplaces. Oh my god. I love fires and the crackle of that and the heat, and it's like so fucking like primal and like just comforting. I just guess it means like food and like warmth and shelter, and but I just love fire, man. Like fireplaces. I don't like fire. Like I'm not a pyromaniac or anything. I just love fireplaces. What? Oh wow. I would think that you'd be able to see meteors like all the fuck over there. Really? No. No. There's like there's so much less light pollution up there. I would think you'd be able to see like everything. I bet the stars are really like clear up there. I went up to the Delaware Water Gap in New Jersey, and oh my god, it was we're like, what's that? What's that cloud, that fog or that mist like in the sky? Oh, that's the outer edge of the arm of the Milky Way galaxy. It was like this huge strip from horizon to horizon of stars, and like the stars around were so freaking vivid. It was like I did not know there were so many. You couldn't even believe it. It was like wow. And then the Northern Star, and like it was the Northern Star was so bright. It was like wow. Mm. Yeah, so you're probably used to it. I'd be like, be like a kid at a candy shop. You never look up. That's funny because I always walk with my head down. I don't know why. People like tell me that they're like, why you walk it? Why are you all depressed? I'm not depressed. I just walk with my head down. I know why. I guess like when you put your head down, you can like see behind you better. I guess so. Maybe that's it. Like you put your head down, you can still see in front of you, but you can definitely see behind you better. So I guess I'm always aware of my surroundings. I know that, but yeah, I was walking my head down, man. I never walk like straight up like fucking military, like all stiff and shit. I just kind of like walking my head down. Oh, okay, yeah, totally different weather system up there, and you don't have the jet stream up there. It's like just all hmm. Yeah, when I was in upstate New York, there was signs right near my house from Montreal. I think it was like 6 or 8 hours away or something. It was like not far. I thought about just one day, just you know what, fuck it, let's just drive there. But I probably like get there and be like, you need your papers and like shit. So I didn't like research it and like really go to Canada or anything. But yeah, it was close. Yes. It's funny. For some reason, I thought you were in Japan or something. I don't know why. And I was like, oh yeah, yeah, you live in Canada. Yeah, I would never go to Alaska. I heard that's fucking crazy, man. And was it like mostly women or men? I don't know. I'm dyslexic, but yeah, like it's crazy. Like one way, and everyone's drunk and bored and um, deprived of like sunlight, and like it just throws everyone off and makes people fucking mad. Toronto. Oh yeah. Oh, the Sky Needle and the yeah. What's Toronto like, man? Is there a lot of like art and music and stuff and like good places to eat there? Huh. Yeah, I always wanted to travel, man, like around the world and just like everywhere. Definitely wanted to go to France. I always wanted to go to Gaverny, France. Monet Gardens, where he used to live and paint most of his artwork. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Blue Jay Stadium, yep. Yep, CN Tower. Huh. Huge landmark, man. Yeah, Gavarnie, France. Oh my god, it's like heaven on earth. It's like this place. I think they have like it's like this huge like mansion basically, and like I think they have like a bed and breakfast thing there now, and like you can go like do a whole tour and stay overnight and have like great food and stuff. But like Monet Gardens is like Gavarnie's like I don't know, like an hour and a half southwest of Vienna, Austria. It's like so it's like out in the countryside, you know, and there's all these rolling hills with these beautifully kept, you know, everything like all the trees are pruned and the roses like you've never fucking seen like and like during the springtime it's like all these little gazebos and waterways and gardens and it's fucking nuts. It's like eye candy and like like no wonder Monet like was inspired by that place. Oh yeah, nice, nice. Right on, huh? You can feel the energy and just yeah. I love the city, man. I'm not a country boy, man. Like I could be, and I've lived in the sticks, and grew up with chickens and shit and peacocks and well, my neighbor had a peacock, but I love the street. I don't know. I'm addicted to freaking. Sorry, I'm still getting over this shit. And I don't know. I know how to move in the city. I know where to go and how to utilize all the social services and shit like that. And it's just you know I'm a survivor, man, so I know how to like you know I'd be lost in the country, dude. They'd be like, but it's simple and it's better. And sometimes I just think that was my dad's dream of like, um, moving out to the countryside and like having a log cabin, and just having it simple. And like, I respect that. And I dig that too. I definitely could do that as long as I had internet. I think it would be too quiet for me. I don't know. I'm used to the hustle and bustle and the craziness and the trash on the streets is and I don't know why it's like they're just used to seeing that stuff. I guess yeah, little stuff like that. Stupid. I don't know why, but yeah. Even though like city people are like can be dicks. I'm used to that tough attitude and. Oh boy. Huh. You know what, man? I want to leave the world something behind. I definitely want to leave the world something behind. I want to inspire people, no matter what, whether it be music or comedy, or something, you know. I definitely want to, I've been like stressed out and busy lately, so my sense of humor has been like, yeah, but I don't know. I developed my sense of humor. I was not funny when I was younger. I was just kind of like dry and like corny, and I don't know. I just think I understand more and I get it, so I can relate. I just has, just like kind of bag of like, humor I just pull out. It's just the way my brain works, you know what I mean? I'm very punny. Like if it's there, I'll catch it. So yeah. Like I don't know, but yeah, I do love making people laugh though, man. I love it when something comes along and it's just out of nowhere and you never thought about it before and it just clicks, and that's what makes it funny, and I just fucking love the heart of that. And music, man. Music is my heart, dude. So, I love video games, obviously, and I was saying this before, like how people that don't play video games don't understand that. I mean, to me, like they're actually real worlds, because they change you. There's stories that change you emotionally and physically, you know what I mean? So, it's like, and stories are older than written language. So, how is that not real? So like if I play a video game that yeah, definitely, man, I'll play some piano again soon. I have this little dingy piano right now, but it's like I had to leave my baby behind when I moved. But the batteries are low, so it's like in and out, so I'm not gonna play. But yeah. Oh, maybe soon, man. Now that you mention that, yeah. And I just started playing recently, so get back in it. I'm so rusty, but then I like played for like an hour. I was like, oh my god, I'm finally playing, not thinking about it, just being natural and letting it go and let my hands go, and yeah, it was all right. So yeah, you just gotta keep playing you gotta play every day. But yeah, man, like stories, man. It's like you play a game and you're like a character in a situation. So you're living in the city, and you're living in Japan, and like you've never been to Japan ever, right? You never been lived in a castle. You never been a commander of an entire army in a video game, and like thousands of people. But those are like real people out there, like it's that's that's real, man, right? I know it's not fucking physically real, and I know it's a screen and all, but it's a means to an end, to serve a purpose. It's actually real, tangible life. It is to me. Why else do people play video games? It's not fucking. It's an experience, man. And like with things being so integrated now, I think we're really headed towards the whole virtual reality, holodeck type thing, man. Totally. I mean, imagine like, okay, 10 years from now, I give it, imagine being able to jam with the Beatles in your fucking bedroom, full motion capture, full holographic, 3D holographic cameras, all positioned with mocap, and you're talking to Ringo like, "Oh, where are you gonna play next?" He's like, "Oh, that kind of sounds like I like that, but let's try this instead." Then you're fucking jamming with the Beatles in your living room, or Jimi Hendrix, Electric Hendrix, I want to buy Electric Hendrix too, man. So we gotta fucking play with Jimmy. Like that's badass shit, and that's right within our grasp, I believe. Close, very close. Hell, yeah, it's close. Spider-Man world, right? Yeah, right. But have you ever been in New York? No, and you could be a historian on New York and never been there, but you know more about New York than New Yorkers, right? My point exactly. My point exactly, man. I mean, like, but it also is extremely important to go to the places that you research, obviously, like you want to learn drums, you study African drums. You go to Africa, you're gonna learn drums, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's totally different. Like they're reading the book and then going to Mexico and learn how to speak Spanish because you have to. You learn 5 years of Spanish in 6 months as opposed to doing it in a class because it's not. Do I have to explain more? You know what I mean? And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's what it's about. The culture of it. Culture, man. Culture is the arts and manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. And that was a definition I had in this really freaking cool British English dictionary that I fucking lost, man. And they even told you to pronounce the words in the vitamin garage. You had to say water, 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 not water, not water. It was great. It was like the fucking coolest dictionary in the world, dude. It was like it really described things like really well, and had history in the descriptions too. It was like the history of tennis. It was like you look up tennis. It was like, and then you'd be like, oh, well, what's that mean? And you look up that word and you'd be like, oh shit, I don't know that. What's that word? But this dictionary was a fucking bomb, man. I don't even remember what it was called. And I was like, no. You can't get that. You can't get that on the internet. Map is the same as part of New York, and all the landmarks are accurately placed. Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah. What's the name of the game? The actual like. Cause I'm gonna get that shit, dude. I've been waiting for like a really good Spider-Man to come out, because it's just like, yeah, a baseball game comes out and it's like, or Madden. It's like Madden 2.0, 2.1. Yeah, it's like which one's good? This one, a solid staple freaking Spider-Man game with a good plot, funny dialogue, and just Spider-Man. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah. My spidey sense is already tingling. Yes, it is. Nice. Dude, it's just getting so good, isn't it? It's just getting so good. I love that. Like, I love that about video games is that it's a living story, and you can choose your own adventure. It's totally choose your own adventure. It's like a movie that you're a part of, that you're the star and you can control. It's fucking better than that, man. So much better than watching a movie. At longer. Woo! Oh god. Tired. I feel good though. I have good energy. I was sick for almost a whole month, man. Holy crap. It's nuts. I'm so happy with my body now though. Like this is the most fit I've ever been. But I'm not like like I never wanted to have like big muscles and arms and like be all like blimped up and shit, But I'm just not gonna be like that. I have like, almost like a feminine, like sleek body. I'm not like I'm thin, but I'm not skinny, and I'm like light. I like that. I like being light and fit, and like I never had that before. I just kind of had a little belly, and I lift heavy shit at work all day long, like heavy boxes of just 8 hours, like fuck, like 30-minute abs, like 8 hour abs all day, every day. It'll do it to you, man. At first, I didn't think I was gonna make it, man. I was like, oh my god, this is insane. This is like slavery. I'm like, holy shit, dude. But they got lighter. I got stronger, and I feel good, man. Yeah. Okay, man. Oh, it was a total pleasure talking with you. I'm gonna get going too. Getting sleepy. What a freaking great conversation. Didn't expect any of this, man. I'm definitely changing the title of this to fuck the Corona chat. Just stay tuned or something. I'll think of something. All right, brother. Um, you take care and have a nice peaceful night, and I'll see you around. All right. See you out there. All right. Good night, sir. I can figure out how to turn this bloody thing off. There you go. All right. Good night.